Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to go over gold and silver, do some technical analysis. Again, we're looking at the dollar, 10-year, gold, silver, platinum, and then ETFs, and then some individual companies. So let's dive in. Again, this is just financial opinions, not financial advice. So here we go. So here's the DXY, up a little bit today. And then gold was down a little bit. You can obviously see as this thing started ramping up, this guy started ramping down. Looking at the charts themselves for the dollar, we were coming on up, broke to the downside, we came up, and I think we're going to head lower overall. Because usually what it does, it comes up, it bounces up, it almost wants to touch and back test, and then we're heading lower. And today, we were up a little bit. We're at 92.60, so we're like right here. But I still think with this bearish engulfing and the wick at the top, the momentum's to the downside. The 10-year U.S. Treasury yield, we broke the downtrend line, and we've been moving on up in this small uptrend line, moving on higher. The ramifications of a higher 10-year yield is it's going to eventually, and maybe not now, but eventually put pressure on stocks and bonds to rotate money out of those and into precious metals and commodities. For gold on the short-term outlook, we get the downtrend line, we're back testing it, we have a bullish engulfing pattern here. Usually that resolves upward. So I'm looking for a move upward, even though we had a small down day today. I'm looking for a move upward very soon. So weakness in the dollar is what I'm looking for right here. Weakness down, gold potentially up is what I'm looking for. Doesn't mean that's what we're going to get, but that's what I'm looking for. On a bigger long-term view, gold, we broke this downtrend. We've got these big down weeks. I don't like seeing those. I like seeing big up weeks and small down weeks like we have back here. So we'll see what happens next week. But this looks more bearish than bullish from this charting perspective with these large down candlesticks. And then the small up days trying to pop back higher. So this gives me a little bit more of a bearish picture. Here's silver. Again, we broke its downtrend, and then we're coming back below. We'll see if this holds or if we're going to break down here. Platinum, I've got this view here. We are coming back lower. We definitely broke its support. I think we're going to go lower. And looking at it from a weekly perspective, I think we may come back to more upper 800s, low 900s, somewhere in this range, and retest this line here. So that's kind of what I'm expecting by looking at these big down candlestick weeks. We could not muster the buyers this week to push this thing higher. The sellers came in and sold it off. So I think we're going to have further downside. GDX, we tried breaking through, and the sellers are winning at this moment, and we are still in a downtrend line heading on lower. We do have some support down here just below it at about $31. GDX from a long-term perspective doesn't look too good right now. We did break to the downside, and it is looking somewhat bearish. So sideways to lower at the moment is what I'm seeing. SILJ broke its downtrend in the short term. Good buying pressure coming up. Got some sellers still selling off. We still have this support line underneath us. Looking at it from a big picture view, we hope this line holds on. But if we break below this, you might see a pretty good size pullback. Franco-Nevada, we're still holding on to this area in here. It doesn't look too bad. I wouldn't be doing much of anything at the moment. We do have a bearish engulfing pattern, which means we could head a little lower. The momentum is still downward on the short term. Wheat and precious metals, kind of from a medium-term perspective, we are at its uptrend line. We'll see if it holds. Same with Newmont Corporation. We are at its uptrend line, playing with it. And here's Barrick Gold. We kind of broke this trend line here. And this is the trend line that we have going on somewhere in there. So we're still heading lower there as well. We're still in a downtrend. We have not broken its downtrend line. So that's what I've got for today for gold and silver. We do have selling pressure is there. We've got higher rates. And I know that it seems like higher rates means that these are going to sell off, and it very well could in the short term. We've had pressure in the overall market, S&P, the overall market there. We could see this kind of sell off together. And then when we get a little more inflation and people realize that the inflation's here to stay, we get higher interest rates, and I think this will all come roaring back. At least that's my guess. So hopefully you guys like this content. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.